Hi there, and welcome to my video on the one-year review of 2017 WRX STI. Pretty much, I'm going to go over 5 features that I like and I don't like about the vehicle, and maybe get a little in-depth on a couple other things. So let's just pull over here and stop for a bit. I'll explain a couple things real quick, and then we'll get on into some other stuff, and I'll drive around for the rest of the video as well. But what I like about the car, I'll give 5 things, and what I don't like. So first 5 things I like about the car is the performance. I really like the performance. It's really good. I mean, the car is still relatively quick compared to a lot of vehicles you can buy in the market for around the same price range. Handling's great, brakes are great, transmission's great. Everything's pretty good in that aspect. It's an overall well-rounded vehicle, and that's probably why they haven't really changed it in a long time. And then the availability of aftermarket parts is really good as well to go along with the performance. I know it's kind of old, but then you have aftermarket parts you can upgrade the performance with. So that's already 2 things, I guess, pretty much. But I really like the brakes as well. That ties into performance. And I really like the looks of the vehicle. The looks of the exterior and the interior, since they redid it in 2015, I feel like it looks a lot better than it used to on previous models. Personally, I think the 04s with the blob eye look the best, the 04s and the 05s, but you can't really find them in that great a shape all that often anymore, and buying a car that old is probably coming up on a lot of maintenance stuff anyways. And up here in Canada, people ask a lot of money for used Subarus. They retain their value quite a bit because they do have really good all-wheel drive, so that's kind of a difficult thing. But I really like the interior, the refresh they did and everything. The steering wheel is really great with the red stitching, flat bottom steering wheel. Not a fan of the cheap carbon fiber trim though. It could honestly just be in like flat black, and it would have been probably even better looking than glossy fake carbon fiber. But everything's where you need it to be. Visibility is well great in the car too. Another thing I really like about the car is just the easy maintenance overall. Changing oils really quick and easy. Swapping out certain parts is pretty easy. Like if your alternator goes bad, it's right on top of the motor. Easy to get to, easy to swap out and change. The starter for the engine's probably pretty easy to get at. It's right underneath in the back. I've never had to change one of those out on one of these before, but looks like it's pretty simple to get to. Spark plugs, which is normally easy on all cars though, is pretty difficult on this vehicle, but they're good for like 60,000 miles anyways, and I've only got like 6,300 kilometers on this car, and I've already had it a year, so I'm probably not going to have to go into any of that type of maintenance anytime real soon, because I don't really drive that much. Another thing I really like about the car is the transmission and the clutch. The clutch feels great. It's really strong. It has a good catch and grab point on it. The transmission shifts gears really nicely. It's really notchy. I don't feel like it's too light or it's too heavy, but it's pretty easy to change gears, and I like the feel of it. It's a really good feeling transmission. I don't miss shifts very often. I've missed shifts more often in my 5-speed WRX before, and I've driven several other manual transmissions, and they just feel kind of sloppy, but this one feels pretty clean, pretty smooth. So I kind of lost count of how many that was for likes on the vehicle. I kind of went all over the place and blended a few of them together, but pretty much what I like about the car is that, and then I'll go on to the things I don't like about it. I said I got 5 things, but I might ramble on a bit again too. So what I don't like, especially on this vehicle, is the terrible fuel economy, because I mean, I average like 13 liters per 100 kilometers in this car. I don't really do too much highway driving though, so that's probably a major culprit of that. But I mean, it's an older engine. It was developed probably in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it's been pretty much the same ever since. So it's in definite need of a refresh or an update on the engine. Another thing I don't like about the car is the super cheap speakers that the base model STI comes with. The speakers are absolutely terrible. I took the speakers out. First thing I did was I changed out the speakers for the kicker speakers. I bought those directly from the dealership because they sounded so bad, and they're okay now. They're still not the greatest, but they're definitely better than the stock speakers that came in the vehicle. next, but those were almost as expensive as the 4 door speakers around in the vehicle. So I think I might wait till next year to do the tweeters, and I'll see how that goes. I'll probably make a video on that. I'm gonna post a video on the speakers I did, because it's really quick, really easy. Especially pulling the door panels off of this car, it was a snap breeze. It took me like 20 minutes to do all 4 speakers. And there's no hard wiring or anything or cutting wires. They just have these nice plug and play adapters you get for the kicker speakers. So yeah. Another thing I really don't like about the car is the auto trunk pop feature. It's really lackluster. Like, I think like it should be able to pop the trunk all the way open, but it doesn't do that. It just kind of pops up a little bit, so you still got to walk up to it and open it. And if you're carrying a bunch of stuff, I mean, you could scratch up the rear bumper. You do a whole bunch of messed up stuff to your paint if you have to like try and open it. I mean, you could set stuff down, but once you got all the groceries, you know, you can't do anything else but carry all your groceries, right? I forgot to mention it, but the infotainment system is terrible. It goes along with the audio. Super slow, super laggy. The lack of Android Auto and Apple CarPlay is kind of frustrating, because that should be a standard on pretty much all car stereo systems nowadays. Doesn't have that. When you turn on the car first thing in the morning, if you had your music blaring, pushing the power button doesn't turn it off right away. And I just found out recently you can just turn the knob to turn the volume down. It'll turn the volume down, but it won't turn off the deck. So you just gotta like turn it down, and that's kind of annoying. It just shows how slow the system startup is on the infotainment system. It takes like 20 seconds after you turn the car on for it to respond to like a turn off, shut down command. Another thing I really don't like about the car is I bought the base model STI just to save some money, but the lack of features, like there's no big wing on the back like STIs are known for. There's no fog lights. It's got the base model WRX headlights like from down in the States. And recently I just upgraded the bulbs. I just put LED bulbs in it because the other bulbs were just drab looking and boring. My buddy showed up with his Volkswagen Golf GTI, and those things are very nicely equipped and loaded with a ton of features, and his headlights look great. And I was just like, you know what, that's it. My headlights look like a flashlight mag light from like the friggin' 80s or something. They just look terrible. So I upgraded the bulbs, and now I've got this C light with a little incandescent bulb in the corner that's just like an orange halo around my nice bright LED lights, and now I've got to find an LED replacement for that. I've been looking for it. I haven't found one yet. So if anybody knows of a LED replacement bulb for the C light on the base model STIs, leave a comment with a link to where I can get one from, because I really want to replace those. It just looks non-fitting with how the lights are going on right now. I'm actually probably going to go unhook them so they don't have to be like dampening the style, the cramping my style, yo. Another thing I really don't like about the car is the performance. And I know earlier I mentioned the performance is good, but it could be better had they have refreshed this vehicle back when they probably should have already. Hopefully the next generation of STIs after this 2018 refresh is more power, because it's pretty much what everybody's asking for. It's what they're expecting, but they still haven't got it yet. So it's one thing that it lacks, and then it makes you really want to go to the aftermarket source, and then you're running into warranty issues. So it's like, all right, I'm stuck with this car. There's a bunch of other cars coming out that are faster and they perform better now, and I don't want to avoid my warranty, and if I don't want to get shown up at the car meet, you know, I've got to modify it. And the only thing I put in this car is a catback exhaust, just because when I first got it, it was super quiet, and I kept stalling it out because I couldn't hear the motor that well if I wanted to have my music kind of loud. So that's one thing I did, and I hardly stall it anymore. But yeah, that's pretty much all my points on the car. This guy not talking, he actually can talk. Hi. Yeah, I just abducted him and took him on the drive with me. He's kind of tired right now, probably, of hearing me talk. Hopefully this one recorded all the way, and yeah, if you like the video, like it. If you don't like the video, don't like it. Subscribe for future content. I've got more videos on the car coming. I was going to make one on the headlight install so you can see the LED bulbs and how the difference of them is. Like, you base model WRX guys in the States are probably going to be interested. on possibly upgrading to LED lights for your headlights, as well as the speaker install. I should be able to make a video on that as well because I recorded some stuff. Probably going to look pretty low quality though, because, you know, I'm not a professional. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, dislike, all that good stuff. See you later.